Hello, everyone. This is going to be Eden Zero, Chapter 100. Eden's one. I got to say, congratulations to Hiro Mashima to making it to Chapter 100. He did it again. The dude did it again. I got to say, I'm really appreciate his work. Even though I dislike some of his story plot lines that he does use, especially his friendship. I do overall enjoy his works. But nevertheless, this chapter was amazing because it kind of does a lot of world building, and it includes new mysteries, new questions that need to be solved. So I thought that was quite interesting. So like a lot of pieces are moving around now, and we also learn a bit more about Connor. And I don't know, this the whole world universe is expanding. It feels a lot like how One Piece was when they were going through the East Blue and them going towards the Grand Line. I'm getting a similar feeling about this right now as they prepare to launch into a different cosmos right now. But I was a bit disappointed with chapter 100. It didn't feel that grandiose, so there wasn't something special going on in chapter 100. I felt like chapter 898 with the color spreads and everything. I thought that was quite grandiose, and that felt more like a chapter 100 than this. But nevertheless, this chapter was quite brilliant. It did feel a bit longer than usual as well. So I guess some things were good. And the main part of this chapter is kind of like damage control, what happened after beating Draken Joe. So we learn that he's under custody in the Interstellar Union Army. So that's quite interesting. And we also learn more about Noah's true identity. So he's been given this position of what's the position called? Let me find. So he's the Gia director overseeing the Cosmos Sakura, Sakura Cosmos, and we don't really know the weight behind that position yet. But he does say that it's a secret that they're not allowed to tell anyone, and that if they expose this secret, then that can put him in a lot of danger and stuff. But we don't know why that is right now. But all we know is that his position is quite big, and so does this mean that this guy oversees the entire Sakura cosmos? So that'll be quite crazy. And I did like this little gag with Homura. Her little quirk is that she can't really keep secrets, and as you can see, her like just shocked by finding out this information. And obviously, Homura is going to struggle to keep that information inside her. And I did like how Rebecca, I almost called her Lucy, fairy tale coming through, because I just literally read the fairy tale chapter as well. But I did like how Rebecca wanted the private conversation with Noah. That felt quite, uh, what's the word? Intermediate, intimate. Like it was a bit more private in the stuff that she asked. And I don't know why she wanted to do a private conversation, but I guess she didn't feel that comfortable or something. But now she starts to ask a bit more personal questions, and some of the questions she asks, about who her parents are, and does she have any family, because Noah is the only one that can see through her cat leap powers. And so that brings up a question of who Rebecca's real family are. And another question is, she also brings up the topic about Connor, and how he doesn't exist in this world anymore. And it seems like Noah brings up a good point, saying that maybe someone else could have interfered with their powers, and another person with a cat leap possibility. That they opened the what you call it, a chance for it to be a possibility that there could be another cat leaper out there. So there you go, two questions just in this one conversation that we learn about. And also that was quite nice as well. So with that, we get these two mysteries that we need to solve, and that could be solved later on. And I do like how Rebecca and Libya's relationship are changed a little bit now, and you can obviously see that Rebecca is still kind to her and stuff. But their overall view of the relationships changed a bit. They're a bit more friendly towards each other, and it seems like they're friends, but more like rival friends, and there's no malice between the two. So she's still kind of the horrible to Rebecca, but it's like a different horrible. It's a bit more friendly, and a bit of banterish kind of thing, and a bit of a rival. Because she says you're never going to beat me. So they're like beekeeper rivals who are also friends. So that's very nice that they have that kind of dynamic now. Because before it didn't seem like they were actually friends, and Libya almost seems like she actually genuinely hated Rebecca. So I'm guessing she has changed a little bit. And then we move on to the Jin and his what do you call it, his sister Klein. And it's taken a bit of time to heal Klein, and it says it's a very special case. So another mystery we have here is how to cure her disease. And apparently, the disease that she has, or like the illness she has, is her emotions were stolen from her. So it's going to be kind of hard to heal. And the fact that her emotions were stolen from her was kind of foreshadowed earlier with the little bracelet there, and it looks like that's used to detect her emotions, and that's the only way she can display her emotions. I thought that was something Drac and Joe had implemented in her to control her, but it seems like it was something beyond his control. So another mystery there. Who was the one who stole her emotions, and how can we solve this? Like, will she ever be able to regain her emotions? So, if that's the case, does that mean Jin and Klein will be coming tagging along for a little bit, like temporarily? So that'll be quite interesting. And Ivy does look quite intent on promising. She makes a promise that she will heal her. So, yeah, that's another question. Like, will they be joining us temporarily for now? And I do like how the chapter makes us regain focus on the true goal of the series, which is to meet the mother, the matriarch of the cosmos, mother. Like, that is the main goal. So I like how that's reaffirmed with this massive hologram that is of mother just above the guild hall. So yeah, I gotta say, like, she's huge, and I've just realized like what she's sitting on is not a throne. She's literally sitting on some rock formations, and if you look more closely, she's kind of ingrained into the rock formation. Like, you can see all these strings attached to her. That is kind of weird, gross, but nevertheless, yeah, she's just floating around, and yeah, they really worship her like that. And with that, we get a little plot twist at the end that Shiki wants to. He has a favor where he wants to go back to Granville to say goodbye to everyone, and he's even hopeful that everyone's returned back to normal. So that's quite interesting to see. But I doubt everyone's gone back to normal. So Shiki's going to be shocked to whatever he discovers. And something that was quite interesting is the fact that Rebecca is unsure about that plan. Like, why would she be unsure about that? And yeah, she's doubting this. So there's something going on in Rebecca's intuition as well. She's onto something, or does she already know something? But I can understand why Shiki would want to go back to Granville anyway, before he goes on a big adventure. And this is kind of nice. It ties us up back to episode one. I mean, chapter one, where he comes from Granville. And this was I gotta say a pleasant surprise. Eden's one, the actual ship, and if I remember correctly, I had to go back and read it. So when we first introduced to Connor in episode chapter 49, we learned that his ship got totaled. So we've never seen his ship, but we knew he had a ship called the Eden's One, and it looks pretty similar to the Eden Zero, and it's got like Eden's One on it. It looks nice. It looks like a massive fish, to be honest, and that makes sense because he's from the fish cosmos as well. And yeah, he's even got some minions as well, like a robotic minion. And yeah, I've got to say, and he says that he's been having a strange dream, and he felt like he was wrapped up warm in like a family. So that means he did enjoy the company of everyone on the ship. And the fact that he felt like it was a strange dream, that it adds a bit of mystery to like how he was interconnected to Rebecca in that instance. And we see that Eden's one tattoo he has on his arm, so that's quite nice. And what's more is there's so many questions that have been opened up in this chapter one, in this one chapter alone. And he says he has time for him to keep his promise. The Eden's one setting sails for Granville, so he's going to Granville as well. So this is quite interesting to see. There's going to be a bit of an intersect. Like, they're both going to make it to Eden. They're both going to make it to Granville at the same time, and they're going to meet. I'm really curious to see how he's going to interact with the crew, and especially Rebecca, because Rebecca kind of knows him from her days in World Number 9, 29 anyway. So that's quite interesting. And we get this little quick flashback to Granville, and it looks like the Demon King looks like he's waking up. There's some sound effects, and one of his eyes is glowing. So what's that all about? I'm quite interested to see how what's going to happen with the Demon King. Does that mean he's revived, or is he going to wake up evil? And does she have to beat him? There's a lot of things. There's a lot of moving pieces going on, and yeah, there's a lot of mystery. And I definitely enjoyed this chapter because it's kind of opening up the world to a lot of possibilities. And there's just so many things. There's so many ways that this show could go right now. And it's very interesting to speculate anyway. But one thing I do want to bring up, especially after last chapter where we found out like what happened to Connor, I had to go back and read his introductory chapter just to like because I completely forgot he existed because he was that irrelevant for a long time anyway. But upon reading 40, chapter 49, we just meet him floating in space with what do you call it, with just the helm because his ship got totaled, and he's from a different cosmos as well. So he's from the fish cosmos, and I did like how Happy refers to that. He refers to that cosmos as a dream, and that's kind of like a play on words in a sense because he's a cat, and a universe full of fish, would be a dream for him because he's a cat and he eats a lot of fish. He likes fish, so that'd be a dream for him. And also the fact that he mentioned that he felt like he was in a strange dream, so that could be a double meaning. So that'd be quite interesting to see a double meaning there. And I did notice in that chapter he did interact with every single crew member. Like there was a bit of an interaction he had with them. Showed his dynamic among them. That was quite funny. And he did show a lot of personality in that one chapter that he was introduced in. So now that I refresh myself on who Captain Connor is, what is his relations to the Demon King, the previous Demon King Ziggs, and why he's called the Eden's One? So this is all quite a lot of mystery, and I could just speculate on for a while, but I guess I'll leave it there. And yeah, this chapter was amazing. A lot of new what do you call it, new reveals, new mysteries, and hopefully we'll get some answers soon. And I'm looking forward to finding out what happens on Granbull and why the Demon King is waking up. I'll see you guys.